This time on Azeroth, we will experience the greed and malice of other players, the great Zul'Farrak Mallet mini dungeon, and as always, the totally not compensating for anything racism of the other faction.
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
This video will be entirely chronological and definitely stay within the right timeline. On the docks of Ratchet, I encounter an Alliance player who is not too fond of our last interaction, and he kills me on sight right in front of the bruisers. Seeing as there was nothing I could do to defend myself, I rezzed inside of the ship and I waited until it started moving. In an attempt to aggravate my aggressor, I laughed as loud as I possibly could. Upon arriving at our destination, I can hear the other Horde players getting killed on the surface of the ship, undoubtedly by the same man who has it out for me. I reappear and once again thwart his attempts in murdering me. After being unable to find me, he screams that this is his town. What a joke. This particular individual clearly does not get enough attention from mom and dad and has to bully players who have less time to play to feel better about his uneventful life. Unbeknownst to him, we have other worldly priorities and can't all be 60 rogue players who roleplay as the Seaman of Booty Bay. Traversing deep into Stranglethorn Vale, I find another Satan-worshipping cousin of the Troglodytes and I murder him without a second glance. He deserved it for existing. I find the target of my quest and I believe that I can most certainly kill the elite mob and its guards with my underleveled pet, and I was quickly proven to be just as smart as when I fucking started. After having my ass handed to me in Stranglethorn Vale, I ended up killing pirates in Tenaris, and I find someone starting a group for Zul'Farrak. I have quests there and the infamous carrot on a stick quest as well, so I scrambled to join them. Whilst waiting for the rest of the group to arrive, I mistakenly wait outside the dungeon, and I suffer the consequences of my good faith in the other faction. I resurrected, and waiting for me at my corpse was our other hunter, who just so happened to be 60. They were being attacked by a gnome mage! We fucking beat the bricks off this rat bastard, and as per usual, this rat screamed for help because he was being bullied by the big bad troll. Oh god, help me! After the PvP fiasco, our group finally starts Zul'Farrak. It turns out the priest who I messaged initially had the mallet for Gozrilla, hence why we had such high levels with us. Two of us had the dungeon quest, one being to collect scarab shells. Our other group members took that too literally and pulled the entire scarab room. The only wipe we had on this run was to a bunch of little bugs. As it appears, I may not be the only being with a negative IQ in this game. We gathered ourselves and pulled the first boss. It was easy peasy as we just had to put all of our DPS to him and he died. I got nothing. Then we killed some witch doctor who was raising zombies or something. He was a pushover and I got nothing. Atop the big pyramid, we saved these random casuals in cages and fought slaves for 5 whole minutes. A task that in the right mind was surely too long. Like, good lord, why are these squawks keeping up just to die like this? It takes too long, man. I got stuff to do later. I got a polearm. That was useless. We get to the end of the dungeon and what the fuck? Where's our priest? It had seemed that our healer had DC'd and had already been gone for quite some time. We never noticed because we just plowed through the dungeon without having to worry about wiping since our DPS was so high. The one reason why 2 people were here was for the carrot on a stick, and the only person who had the item to obtain the trinket was not presently with us. We quickly disbanded, and instead of killing trolls, I found myself killing gnolls, ogres, and little dragons that suck the mana out of you in feral ass. It's mail time, and good lord, I had so much footage, I don't remember getting mail, so if I missed your mail, I am sorry, let me know. But I did get a mysterious payment for no reason at all, and a question about my own race that I for sure knew the answer to. Send me more mail, please and thank you. I was hunting for ogre shamans who shared spawns with 2 other ogre variants, and just my luck, the wrong ones kept spawning, leading to my quest to last much longer than it should have. Another quest had me collecting bits and pieces from mobs that actually had a high drop chance, so it was quite enjoyable for me, unlike other quests. It was a quest that had lots to collect, but a good drop chance so I didn't get upset with it. More quests like this, please. After getting bored looking for ogre shamans, a fellow hunter and I started an escort quest, and he went ahead without me and gets himself killed. Since he died, the quest failed, as the chicken robot was beaten to a pulp by testosterone-fueled maidenless primates. A higher level night elf yoinked the quest from us, and since we wanted to get it done for both of us without some bullshit happening, we had to leave her alone. And so we decided to wait it out. We finished the hunter's quest and had to run back for my own. We killed the yetis, ginger monkeys, and some gnolls that were for whatever reason really far away from their camp. And my quest finished and I returned to killing ogres with a mage, who was the most intelligent being that I had ever met. Together we finished the quest and I set out for Arathi Highlands. In case you haven't been in my streams, I have completely given up on engineering as I took a gander at the Horde auction house for my pre-raid bisque gear and it wasn't there, so I figured I would have to make it myself. And so I autistically spent 7 hours one day leveling my skinning and leatherworking to about the point where my mining and engineering was before. I had somehow mastered my stupidity to unlearn 2 of my many talents. I eventually found my way back into Stranglethorn and was tasked with killing even more monkeys. Just wanting to pursue my quest, I left this paladin alone, and it's clear to me that no matter who or what, if I'm given the opportunity to off someone on the opposing faction, I had better take it. After rezzing, they chased me out of my questing zone, and I thought I had made it out, but I was cancelled out of existence by, who would have guessed it, another fucking gnome. I managed to return, and alongside another hunter, we killed a whole bunch of monkeys, finishing my quest and a new one that came with my companion. After I was done monkeying around, I set off to obtain a quest on the Bloodsail Buccaneers ships. On top of that, I had to kill blood salesmen anyway, and whilst doing so, I was attacked unprovoked by a scheming little rat shit with insecurities about their lack of control of their real life. And so naturally, I fought back, but in typical gnome fashion, they cried for their alliance peers.
Oh no, and look, another troll! Please save me! I'm just trying to level and they won't leave me alone!
I am shown no mercy, but I get to enact my revenge on one of my oppressors. Fortunately for me, they are stupid and they fall into my frost trap and I collect more honor points for free. After trading a few deaths, they wouldn't let up and I decided it was time to leave, and they chased me all the way into Booty Bay. Luckily for me, I actually know how to cut corners and I made my escape fairly easily. Somehow ending up in the Badlands, I experience a warm welcome from the local alliance. Quickly team up with other players to parade around and kill the alliance who were camping the lower level horde. A paladin called Eric was running around with his warlock EGF, likely farming honor points for her. Time and time again, paladins continue to show that they are broken as shit, having 3 HP bars and dealing equal if not more damage than my entire rotation. Since I despise being held back in terms of progression, I went to Teneris to continue questing, where I had found a warlock who had similar quests as I did. We both had to escort another fucking chicken across a quarter of the zone. It works just like the other one, where one man gets the quest and the other doesn't count toward the other. We finish his quest first, he gets on his fiery steed, types peace buddy in party chat, and fucks off. I had gotten messages as this happened. Another Zul'Farrak run. Someone even offered me 50 gold to be a part of my group. Why would a 60 rogue pay so much to be in a group with a measly level 46 player like myself? Also, another bitch-ass paladin thought he was serving justice by light by chasing and killing someone who's just trying to interact with an NPC. Anyway, wait! Remember when I said that this video would be chronological? That was all a fucking lie. I was in Feralass killing those ogres way before I even knew what Zul'Farrak was. That paladin that just killed me was somehow faster on his mount, and unless paladin mounts have a rocket stuck up their ass, that man had a trinket that I needed. I failed a timed quest because I was fighting a Feralass with this mage primate who didn't know his lefts from rights. We'd get into a few long chases, and eventually after outrunning him on foot, he just decided to follow me to the ends of the earth. As he chases me, let me tell you why I am inevitably fucked. See, he has a trinket from the quest in Zul'Farrak, the carrot on a stick trinket. Now the only way to obtain this was through banging the gong at the end of the dungeon with the Zul'Farrak mallet. I watched a video with my chat on another's experience questing to obtain such an item, Barney. How one gains the mallet is through killing a 50 elite who drops it and enchanting it atop the temple in the hinterlands, every enemy being 50 elites. I was but a mere level 46 when I wanted to do the dungeon, and since no one does a normal dungeon run or has the mallet, I figured in order to progress our journey, finish my quest, and get my trinket, I would have to get the mallet myself. Also, this dick sucker chased me for 5 whole minutes and died anyways because he fucking sucks. I message a higher level mage in my guild if they would help me get the mallet. They want payment of 50 gold. I reluctantly agree, and after almost an hour, they finally showed up to our meeting spot. We managed to recruit another player to help us since they wanted the mallet too. Once we were all ready, the warrior decided it would be best if we just ran through and killed the mob we needed instead of killing them all one by one. Naturally, this ended poorly for them, but we still managed to kill Kiaga the Keeper, so we traveled southeast to Jintha Allure. The game plan was to once again just run through, and just like last time, this was fine for our 60 mage, but not so much for someone as feeble as I. Myself and my pet were the only ones to die since we got hit off of our mount. My companions made it without me and I was left stuck between many angry trolls, but I persevered and was escorted to be where we needed to be. Although I made it, almost all of my gear was broken and I was running low on resources. Therefore, I was hitting like a fly with a serious drug addiction. Once all the mobs were dead, we enchanted our mallets, and the mage wasted no time in collecting the debt that I owed him. The warrior and I still had a quest at the end of the cave, so we decided it was the best option to corpse walk. My gear was already in the red, but by the end of this, I had no gear at all. No bow, no swords, no pants, no gloves, no nothing. I was a naked troll. But we did hatch a plan for both of us to obtain the egg, and we finished our quest. Somehow I was able to hold aggro for long enough for him to loot it, and same with him. I ate the res sickness, and I still had a quest here that was almost finished in the hinterlands. But with res sickness, broken gear, and next to no time left before I had to leave, there was no way I could possibly finish it. Unless I'm saved by one of my subs, Kenjin the Priest, the OG motherfucker that's been with me since RFC. He was in my stream and saw that I needed some assistance, so he murdered the 3 owl beasts that I required for my quest with great prejudice, and I bid him goodbye. What a fucking legend. Back to the main timeline. I had the group for Zul'Farrak, including the rogue who would trade me 50 gold for being there, but he was hesitant. He thought I was potentially a scammer who would just kick him after I received the gold, his reasoning being that I was 46 with no raid guild. Therefore, I cannot be trusted. Are there no new players in this game? Is it really filled with that many degenerates who scam, boost, or bot? Eventually, we both chilled out after bickering for about 5 minutes. Once we were all in the dungeon, our healer DCs. Once again, another player that randomly DCs and never comes back. So we hunt for another priest, and after about 20 minutes, we find Marcel. Now, we had been ready for almost an hour, and naturally, I was excited to go, so I type in all caps, and the first thing this fucking rat bastard says is, "Relax, kid." Like, what the fuck is this bozo's deal? I ignore it and we start planning. I don't have a lot of time and neither do others. So I say we run through and just kill Gazrilla. Marcel chimes in, "You're gonna run through and not use any of the safe spots? Seems dumb." Motherfucker, who are you? I have the mallet, bozo. I can kick you whenever the fuck I want to. The rogue knew the path, so we followed him through with the safe spots. Now let me add some context. When I type in-game, I usually type pretty fast and usually in broken but understandable English. After I finish typing a message, Marcel says, "Are you Indo?" Not knowing what the hell he means, I ask what he's on about. It turns out he is asking if I am Indonesian because of my broken English in chat. Not only did we have a priest with anime protagonist syndrome,
Relax, kid, I can fuck my own ass.
but he was also a racist priest with anime protagonist syndrome. Fuck this guy! Anyway, we make it to the last room and our rogue tells me how it's usually done. Pull the boss and run into the hallway. Simple enough. Not for me though, because I pulled the boss and all of the mobs with it by using my multi-shot, which hit the mobs through the stone wall. I witnessed them all running down said hallway straight for me. I feign and I put aggro onto the mages instead. While the boss knocks all of us up, I hit the floor and I die. Marcel does his one good deed for the day and reses me. The rogue and I set out for the Shimmering Flats to hand in our quests. I receive my payment and I log off. I spent 50 gold to get the mallet, was paid 50 for my spot in the group, and made 100 off of corrupt backstreet deals. Let's say I'm somewhat of a wealthy troll as of now. But that is the end of today's video. If you haven't already, go vote for my epic mount. I apologize for the small hiatus as college was super intense in the last few weeks, but I have maybe 2 weeks off for a bit so I can make videos here and there. If you like the video, please give it a like or at least comment, and if you keep coming back for me, don't hesitate to subscribe as it's free, and since I'm small, it really helps out. I try to stream as often as I can right here on YouTube. I hope you all enjoyed your time with this troll today, and he's very thankful for your company. Hello there. Thank you for watching my video. Any feedback would be much appreciated. Did you know that I stream sometimes, and that I have a Twitter account? Both are linked down below. Have a fantastic day, you beautiful human being you. Bye bye now.